starting off by using the simple light moisturiser, and I'm just rubbing that into my skin. And then I'm going to take the L'Oreal Studio Secrets Smoothing Resurfacing Primer, and I'm just focusing that product onto the areas of my skin where I have a lot of open pores, so my foundation tends to come off those areas because oil seeps through, therefore melting off my foundation. So I'm just focusing it onto those areas rather than wasting it on areas where my foundation, is perfectly fine on its own. So I usually get a lot of oil on my chin, down my nose, T-zone, and then sort of like on my cheeks as well. So I'm just applying it in those areas. Then I'm using Urban Decay Slick Makeup Setting Spray as always, just spraying it over the primer, just to add more longevity to my makeup. Then I'm taking L'Oreal's True Match Foundation in Ivory and a Zoeva Silk Finish brush, and I'm just taking little bits at a time and just buffing it in. It's quite a light consistency, and it will give you a light coverage if you want it to, but it will give you a higher coverage if you build it up. So I like to take it in little layers, and I like quite a medium coverage because I have quite a few blemishes and a bit scarring from blemishes. So I just take a few pumps at a time, just slowly buff it in, just for a more natural look. I love this brush because it's huge and it just buffs things in really well because there's so many bristles working at it. Then I'm taking Collections Concealer in the shade One Fair, which is the light one, and I just like to dab that onto any scars that I have on my cheeks and spots, any spots that I do have, and then I usually put a bit down my nose because I like a bit more coverage on there. And then I'm going to blend that in with a Zoeva, I think it's called a Face Foam brush. This is basically just the same as the Silk Finish brush but a bit smaller, a cuter version of it. So it's much better to get into smaller areas of the face, so like under the eyes, around the crooks of the nose, etc. Crooks of the nose? What does that even mean? Then I'm taking the Garnier eye roll on. This is either in the lighter shade or the second lightest. Very light anyway. It's quite yellow, so it's really good for under the eyes. It's really cold on the eyes, so it always makes my eyes water. So I'm just putting that on under my eyes and then blending that in with the Face Foam brush. If you ever see my mouth move within this video, it's because I was probably singing. Well, I know it was because I was singing. I wasn't talking to anyone. So no one was there for me to talk to. Then I'm taking a mix of Ben Nye's banana powder and super white powder, and I'm using that to set the under eye concealer. I mix the two together because banana's too dark, sorry, and the super white is obviously way too light because it's pure light. So when they're mixed together they make a nice match. Today I'm going to be using my Vice palette, and I'm starting off with the shade Undone, which is just a really nice matte brown. And this is a Zoeva, basically a fluffy brush. I'll link it in the description box if you are interested in it. It's very similar to the MAC 217, but I'd say it's more, the end comes more a bit more square. I don't know how to explain it. It's similar, it will do a very similar job, but I find it's a lot more fluffier, so it's better for my crease because I like to blend quite a lot through my crease because I have quite a big crease area. Oh my god, oh my god. Right, so then I'm taking the next shade, I think that was called Downfall, and I'm just doing the same again with the Zoeva brush that I don't know the name of. I think it's number 227. And it's just a big fluffy brush. It's really good for fluffing, for blending through the crease. Oh my god. And I'm basically lightly taking the brush and winging it out. And as you can see, I'm using it under my brow bone. So I'm being very careful not to go into the brow bone. That's a mistake a lot of people make. They'll take their eyeshadow onto the brow bone. It's too high. Your brow bone, just keep that as your limit. Know where your brow bone is and stop there. Then I'm taking DTF, no idea what that stands for. It's like a grey brown. It's got very tiny glitters in. I don't even know why I kept that bit in. It's so embarrassing. Obviously I wanted it in, so I kept it in. Me being a pop star. Right, so then I'm blending that in, and now you can see I'm using the 217. So this is a bit smaller than the Zoeva brush. It's just going to blend it a little bit better, and it just gives me a cleaner brush. So I'm not getting any other colours from the other brush. And I'm just blending that through the crease as well. So you can kind of see that I've slightly winged it out. Then I'm taking the shade Decay, which is a really nice dark grey matte shade. I absolutely love that colour. It's one of my favourites on the palette. And again with the 217. Blending it through my crease, and that is just what eyeshadow is really. It's a lot of blending. You want it to look flawless, then you need to get a blender brush. You can see I'm just slightly winging it out through the crease and then winging it out, always making sure I'm under that brow bone. Everyone's eyes are different, so it's hard to work out where you need to stop, but the brow bone is always a good guide of. I hope that this video is helping people, probably not. Then I'm taking the shade Revolver, and on the 217 again, I think. Oh no, not on the 217. This is a Zoeva Luxe Petit crease brush. I actually know the name of this one. And it's like a blending brush, but it comes to a point. So it's going to add a lot more precision to the crease, and it's not as good for blending, more so adding it in. So as you can see, I'm taking Defy, and then I'm packing it onto my lid. I didn't tap off the excess off the brush, so I got a lot of fallout all over my cheek, which is just stunning, grey all over your cheek. So clean that up, and always make sure to tap your excess eyeshadow off, because as you can see that's what happens. Or just do your eyeshadow before your foundation, whatever works for you. And then I'm taking a Jemma Kidd. I'm going to have to link this down below as well, I don't know the name, but it's basically a big black fluffy brush. It's a lot bigger than the Zoeva one, a lot bigger than the 217, and it's a lot less dense, so it's really, really fluffy, and it blends out colours really well. So I'm just doing the same on the other eye. That brush is a shadow brush. So now I'm highlighting the brow bone. Of course, that stays out of all the dark shades, and that is an Urban Decay shade. I'll link that down below, I don't know the name. And that is a crown brush, sort of pencil brush. Then I'm taking the shade Defy again, and that is the Urban Decay electric palette brush. I'm just using that to run it underneath. Another great tip is if you're going heavy on the top, then it's always good to go heavy on the bottom, because it just evens it out. I mean, if you've got all this heavy on the top, it just looks unbalanced, so just getting a little bit underneath, not a lot if you don't like a lot, just balance it out. Then I'm taking Urban Decay Zero eyeliner and just lightly running that along my lash line. And then I'm taking Bobbi Brown's, this is a really stupidly long name, it's like Glamour Lengthening Extreme Amazing Beautiful Mascara. That's not the name. I'm just using that. It's really lengthening, yeah, it has the word lengthening in as well in the name. And I'm just going to apply that to my lashes. God, I can't believe I've been talking for 9 minutes. I feel like I've been talking about 2. Then I'm putting MAC's Pink Plaid eyeshadow on. It's just a really nice pinky nude. And that is the end of the video. That is the finished look. So if you liked it, like the video.